This is what I see as the door opens. My name is Eric Dawson. I'm 22 years old. In a few minutes, they're going to strap me down and inject chemicals into my body until I stop breathing. I killed my stepfather when I was 17. His name was Raymond Sawyer. I stabbed him 14 times in our kitchen while he slept in his chair. People will tell you I'm a murderer, that I took a life in cold blood, that I deserve this. Maybe they're right, but before the needle goes in, hit subscribe, because what I'm about to tell you isn't just about murder. It's about survival. It's about a boy who lived in hell and made a choice. The wrong choice, maybe, but the only one he thought he had. I didn't kill a man. I killed the monster that made me. These are my last words. I was born in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Just me and my mom at first. My real dad left before I was born. Never met him. Don't even know his name. Mom did her best. She worked 2 jobs. Waitress during the day, cleaning offices at night. We didn't have much, but we had each other. She'd come home exhausted and still make time to help me with homework. Still tucked me in at night. Still told me she loved me. I was a happy kid. I liked drawing. Comic book characters mostly. Superheroes. I'd spend hours copying panels from Spider-Man and X-Men comics I'd get from the library. Mom used to say I had a gift, that I could be an artist someday if I worked at it. I believed her. Then Raymond came into our lives. I was 9 years old. Mom met him at the diner where she worked. He was charming at first. Funny. He'd bring me candy, ruffle my hair, call me sport and buddy. Mom fell for him hard. She'd been alone for so long. She wanted someone to share the load, to help, to be a family. They got married 6 months later. At first, it was okay. Raymond had a good job at a construction company. We moved into a bigger apartment. Mom quit one of her jobs. She seemed happy, lighter. But then Raymond started drinking. It started slow. A beer or 2 after work. Then a 6-pack. Then whiskey. By the time I was 11, he was drunk most nights. And when Raymond drank, he got mean. He'd yell at Mom, call her stupid, worthless, tell her she was lucky he put up with her. She'd cry in the bathroom afterward, and I'd hear her through the door. I started staying in my room more, drawing to drown out the shouting. Then he started hitting her. I was 12 the first time I saw it. He backhanded her across the face because dinner was cold. The sound. I'll never forget that sound. Like a firecracker going off. She fell, hit her head on the counter. Blood ran down her temple. I ran to her, but Raymond grabbed me by the shirt and threw me against the wall. Mind your own business, boy. This is between me and your mother. After that, it became regular. Once a week. Then twice. Then anytime he felt like it. Mom made excuses. Said she fell. Walked into a door. Tripped down the stairs. The bruises told a different story. I begged her to leave him. To call the police. To do something. She'd just shake her head. We can't afford to leave, baby. Where would we go? And besides, he loves us. He just has a temper. He'll get better. But he never got better. He started hitting me too. First time was when I was 13. I got a C in math. He said I was stupid. Said I'd never amount to anything. Then he punched me in the stomach, so hard I threw up. Mom tried to stop him. He hit her too. The beatings became part of life. Something I accepted like weather. Some days were calm. Some days were storms. I stopped drawing. Stopped caring about school. Just tried to survive. Then, when I was 15, something worse started. Raymond would come into my room late at night. When Mom was asleep or working her night shifts, he'd sit on my bed, put his hand on my leg, tell me things I didn't want to hear. At first, I thought I was misunderstanding, that it was innocent, that I was imagining things. But then it got worse. I told Mom, begged her to believe me, to protect me. She looked at me with tears in her eyes and said, "Don't say things like that, Eric. Raymond would never. You're confused. You're mistaken. She chose him over me. That's when something inside me broke. I started planning. June 3rd, 2000. I was 17, 2 weeks from graduating high school. Not that it mattered. I wasn't going to college. Wasn't going anywhere. Just stuck in that apartment with Raymond until I was old enough to escape. But that night, I decided I wasn't waiting anymore. Raymond had been drinking all evening. Vodka straight from the bottle. He'd hit Mom twice. Once for talking back. Once for nothing at all. She'd locked herself in the bedroom. I could hear her crying through the door. Raymond passed out in his recliner around midnight, still clutching the bottle, snoring, mouth open. I stood in the doorway of the living room and just watched him. This man who'd destroyed everything, who'd turned my mother into a ghost, who'd beaten me, touched me, made me hate myself for being too weak to stop him. I walked to the kitchen. Quiet. Slow. I opened the drawer. The one with the knives. I picked the biggest one. Chef's knife. 8-inch blade. Heavy in my hand. I walked back to the living room. Raymond was still asleep. Still snoring. I raised the knife. And I brought it down. The first stab woke him up. His eyes flew open. Confused. Scared. He tried to stand, but I stabbed him again. And again. He grabbed my wrist, but I was stronger than I'd ever been. Fueled by years of fear and rage and pain. I stabbed him 14 times. Chest. Stomach. Throat. He stopped fighting after the 7th. Stopped moving after the 10th. But I kept going. When I finally stopped, I was covered in blood. My hands. My shirt. My face. Raymond was slumped in the chair. Eyes open. Staring at nothing. I dropped the knife. It clattered on the floor. Mom came out of the bedroom. Saw the scene. Saw me. She screamed. I called 911 myself. Told them what I'd done. Told them to come arrest me. When the cops arrived, I was sitting on the couch, covered in blood. Calm. I killed him, I said. He deserved it. The trial was a nightmare. My lawyer tried to argue self-defense. Tried to bring up the abuse, the beatings, the other things Raymond did to me. The prosecutor argued I was a cold-blooded killer, that Raymond was asleep, that I wasn't defending myself. I was committing murder. They brought witnesses, neighbors who said they never heard anything, Raymond's coworkers who said he was a good guy, a regular guy. My mom testified for the prosecution. She sat on that stand and told them Raymond never hit me, never touched me, that I was lying, that I was troubled, that I'd always had a violent streak. She looked right at me when she said it. No emotion, no tears, just cold. She'd made her choice. Even after he was dead, she chose him. The jury deliberated for 2 days. Guilty. First-degree murder. I was 17, but they tried me as an adult. Because of the nature of the crime, because of how many times I'd stabbed him, because I'd shown extreme brutality, the judge sentenced me to death. I was 18 by the time I got to death row, the youngest person on the row in Oklahoma at the time. That was 4 years ago. 4 years of appeals that went nowhere. 4 years of everyone telling me I was a monster, that I deserved this. Maybe they're right, but Raymond was a monster first. This morning, they woke me at 4:30 a.m., same routine as everyone else. Shower, clean clothes. Last meal, I ordered a cheeseburger, fries, and a chocolate milkshake. Didn't eat much of it. Stomach was in knots. The chaplain came around 9 a.m., young guy, maybe 30. He tried to talk to me about forgiveness, about God's mercy. I told him I don't believe in God. If God existed, he would have stopped Raymond years ago. The chaplain looked sad, but he didn't push it. They let me make a phone call at 11 a.m. I almost didn't use it. Who would I call? My mom. The woman who betrayed me? Who chose my abuser over her own son? But I called her anyway. She picked up on the third ring. Eric. Yeah, it's me. Silence. They're going to execute me today, I said. More silence. I know, she said finally. Her voice was flat. Empty. I need to ask you something. And I need you to tell me the truth. Okay. Do you really believe I was lying? About what he did to me? The longest pause of my life. Then, no. I knew Eric. I knew what he was doing. My heart stopped. Then why? Why did you let it happen? Why did you lie in court? She started crying. Because I was weak. Because I was scared. Because I didn't know how to stop him, and I convinced myself. It wasn't as bad as you said. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, baby. I closed my eyes. It's too late for sorry, Mom. I know. I loved you. More than anything. And you chose him. I know. I'm sorry. I hung up. The warden came at 5 p.m. Read the execution order. Asked if I understood. I said yes. It's time. 51 steps from my cell to the execution chamber. I count them like everyone else. 1, 2, 3. My hands are shaking, but my legs are steady. 20, 21. The chaplain is praying beside me. I don't listen. His God wasn't there when I needed him. 35, 36. I think about the drawings I used to make. The superheroes. I wanted to be like them. Strong, brave, able to save people. Instead, I became the thing I was trying to escape. 48, 49. We reach the door. The warden unlocks it. 51. He pushes it open. Inside, the execution chamber is exactly like they showed me during the walkthrough. White walls. Bright lights. The gurney in the center with its leather straps. The 4 stand. The clear bags of poison that will stop my heart. 3 windows. Window 1. Victims' witnesses. Raymond's brother is there. His sister. Some cousins. All wearing black. All staring at me with hate. Window 2. My witnesses. Empty. My mom didn't come. Good. I didn't want her here, anyway. Window 3. Media. 6 reporters with notepads. Please lie down, the warden says. I walk to the gurney. My hands are still shaking. I sit. Lie back. The ceiling is white and blank. They strap me down. Arms. Legs. Chest. Forehead. I can't move. Can't turn my head. Can only stare up at that empty white ceiling. The 4 technician comes. She's older. Gray hair pulled back. She finds a vein on my right arm. Slides the needle in gently. Then the left arm. The backup. The chaplain leans close. God loves you, Eric. He knows what you've suffered. I don't respond. The warden steps into my field of vision. Eric Dawson, you have been sentenced to death by the state of Oklahoma for the murder of Raymond Sawyer. Do you have any last words? I take a breath. My voice comes out steadier than I expected. To Raymond's family, I know you think I'm a monster. I know you're here to watch me die and feel satisfied that justice was served. But let me tell you something about the man you're here to defend. Raymond beat my mother. Regularly. For years. I watched him hit her until she bled, until she cried, until she stopped being the woman she was. Raymond beat me, starting when I was 12. Punched me, kicked me, threw me against walls. Told me I was worthless, and Raymond did other things. Things I won't say out loud, because they're too ugly. Things that made me hate myself. Things that made me want to die. I begged for help. I told my mother. I told my teachers. Nobody believed me. Nobody helped. So when I killed him, I wasn't killing a man. I was killing the monster that made me who I am. The monster that destroyed my childhood. That stole my mother. That made every day a living hell. I'm not asking you to forgive me. I'm not asking you to understand. I'm just telling you the truth. Raymond Sawyer wasn't the good man you think he was. He was a predator, and I stopped him the only way I knew how. I regret that I had to kill him. I regret that violence was my answer. I wish I could have been stronger, braver. I wish I could have found another way. But I was 17 years old, desperate, terrified, and alone. So yes, I killed him. And yes, I'm paying for it now. But I'm not sorry he's dead. I pause. Swallow hard. To anyone listening who's living in hell like I was, I don't know what to tell you. Don't do what I did. Don't let the monster turn you into a monster too. Find help. Run. Do whatever you have to do to survive. But don't let it make you into something you're not. I made that choice. And now I'm dying for it. Learn from me. Be better than I was. I close my eyes. I'm ready. The warden nods. I feel the chemicals enter my veins. Cold. Fast. My breathing slows. My vision dims. I think about my mom. About the last thing she said to me. I knew. I think about Raymond. About the fear in his eyes when he woke up. When he realized what was happening. I think about the boy I used to be. The one who drew superheroes and believed his mom when she said he had a gift. I wonder what he would think of me now. The cold spreads, reaches my heart, and then peace. Finally, peace.
Those were his last words. Eric Dawson was pronounced dead at 6:11 p.m. on August 19, 2005, at Oklahoma State Penitentiary in McAlester. He was 22 years old. He served 4 years on death row for the murder of Raymond Sawyer, 47. His mother, Linda Sawyer, did not attend the execution. She released a statement through her attorney. I failed my son. I knew what was happening, and I did nothing. I will carry that guilt for the rest of my life. I pray Eric has found the peace he never had here. Raymond Sawyer's family released a statement condemning Eric's last words and maintaining that Raymond was a good man who didn't deserve to die. However, after the execution, 2 former neighbors came forward with allegations that they had witnessed Raymond physically abusing both Linda and Eric on multiple occasions. One stated they called Child Protective Services twice, but no action was taken. School records obtained after Eric's death showed that 3 different teachers had filed reports of suspected abuse between 1997 and 2000. All reports were investigated, but closed without action. Eric's case sparked renewed debate about how the justice system handles cases of abuse victims who kill their abusers, particularly minors tried as adults. Several advocacy groups cited Eric's case as an example of systemic failure. A child who asked for help, received none, and was later executed for defending himself. Eric Dawson's body was cremated. His ashes were never claimed. This is episode 5 of Last Words. Subscribe to hear more stories from Death Row, because sometimes the only way to understand justice is to question whether we truly know what it means.